Sunday live stream Kirtan. So we're going to, my name's Jiva Krishnadas, and I'll be chanting for a little bit. We'll have a little talk on the Bhagavad Gita as usual as part of our program, and then we're going to have Jai Tirthadas and Rupadas are going to come and do some chanting after to see us through. So we're just going to start straight away, and we're going to start with this chant. Gopala, Govinda, Rahama, Adana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rahama, Adana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Hana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Hana, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Hana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Hana, Gopala, Govinda. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Nityananda, 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 Haribo, Gauranga, 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 Haribo, Nityananda, 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 Haribo, Gauranga, Nityananda, 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 Haribo, Gauranga, 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 Haribo, Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay, so just going to spend a few minutes and we're going to talk, as we mentioned last week, for anybody tuning in, we were talking about the Bhagavad Gita, which is the sacred yoga text describing the way of yoga, different aspects of yoga practice and what it's all about. So we're going to just say a few things again about the program of yoga, and the first point that anybody who's interested in spiritual development or spiritual understanding is what do we focus on? If you're just an average person and you're interested in spiritual something, oftentimes we don't know what it is we're interested in the very beginning. And so you need something to focus on. You can't just be sort of grasping at the wind kind of thing, not knowing what to focus on. So in the Bhagavad Gita, we're given information about how we can focus, and the most obvious thing we can focus on is the names of the Supreme, the names of the Supreme Soul. So that we do in this process of meditation, we focus on all these mantras that we're chanting very, very often, and some of the names, like tonight, for example, you've heard Hare Krishna mantra, Gopala, Govinda, these are all names of the Supreme, which we're given this information through the different yoga texts. It's not like we make it up, it's not like, people like myself or anybody else that's chanting these mantras, we made it up. No, we receive it. And there's another thing we receive as well. We receive more information about the Supreme. We receive information, for example, that he's a transcendental personality. This is why we say the Supreme Soul. In the Bhagavad Gita, we hear about the Supreme Soul or the Supreme Person. So I'm just going to read a couple of verses from the Bhagavad Gita describing a little bit about this Supreme Soul, who is, for many spiritual aspirants, if we can put it like that, a mystery. Sometimes even people say like that, God is a mystery, spiritual life is a big mystery. But in the Bhagavad Gita, we're given very specific information, and so although it's practically impossible for us to know fully the Supreme Soul and to know everything about him, and it's even stated like that in the Bhagavad Gita, we are given some specific information, and enough information that can make it easy for us to focus. So I'm going to read a couple of these verses. This is Krishna speaking about, telling Arjuna and all of us who he is. The Supreme Soul said, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and adore me with all their hearts. So here's, just very simply the whole yoga process, just summarised in just a few words. As we've all know, the basic teaching of yoga is we're spiritual in essence. Secondly, we're all children of the Supreme. And third, knowing that He is the original cause and the source, it follows on naturally from there. As Krishna says, everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and adore me with all their hearts. So when we're chanting, of course, this is what we're doing. We're engaging in this process. So then, so a couple of more verses I'll read. Know that all beautiful and glorious and mighty creations spring but from a spark of my splendour. So again, sometimes that people say, God is unlimited or He's got unlimited inconceivable potencies. We can't grasp it. There's no way anybody's going to grasp that with our mind. We can reach out with our mind a little bit and try and get an idea, and this is what we're given. But there's not much more we can say. Know that all beautiful, glorious and mighty creations spring but from a spark of my splendour. The next verse I'm going to read is Krishna describing how He sometimes appears in the material world. Just like we were saying before, we've got to have something to focus on. Otherwise, how are you going to focus spiritually? You can't. We can't. You've got to have something. And so for this reason, Krishna actually makes Himself known in different ways. One way is His name. We're given information about His name. We're also given information about His form. He's a spiritual personality. So, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So, a lot of these verses are more, if you read carefully, it's pretty much self-explanatory, that sometimes people say, well, how can Krishna appear in the material world? How can God appear in the material world? Or why does He? He not only can, of course, but He must. If He doesn't appear, if He doesn't come to this material world and exhibit Himself to some degree, again, we won't know how to focus. We're lost. What are you going to focus on? God is a mystery, We can't do that, or it's not going to be helpful. So this is a wonderful verse. And not only that, He appears in His spiritual form. So sometimes, we have these forms of Krishna, pictures of Krishna, like the one behind me you see now. Where does that come from? Is it somebody's imagination? No. It's Krishna appears in His transcendental form, in His spiritual form, but He makes it so that we can see Him when He appeared 5,000 years ago. And the great sages and spiritual self-realised souls were able to perceive this spiritual form, and so they go on to describe this form. And so sometimes people paint pictures, make images of the Supreme Soul like that. So this is how, again, it's not a creation. It's not like somebody made that up. We receive, just like we receive His name. I think most people in different faiths and sects agree that the name of God is revealed in the different scriptures. Doesn't matter where you look. Different scriptures of the world, they have a name of God, and they all agree that this is revealed. It's not made up. So similarly, the form, the information about the form of Krishna is not made up. So He appears in every millennium in His original transcendental form, just to make it so that we can focus. So another verse, we'll go to this one. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So I'm just skimming over these verses. There's so much in them, we could talk a lot about each one, but I'm just trying to round it off here a little bit. So when they're talking here, after many births and deaths, it means that, and this other point, such a great soul is very rare. So we're talking about this process of developing our love for the Supreme. This is the Bhakti Yoga process. But it's not, although it's easy in one sense to attain, for many people, for one reason or another, it takes time. Just like, you can be a little bit introspective in your own time and ask yourself, how genuine am I about this? There's so many people we know who are chanting and meditating, but how sincere actually are we? I won't answer for everybody else, but I can answer for myself, and that is not very much, not very sincere. And so, it's another subject we'll take up another time. What happens to the person who doesn't attain this platform of love for the Supreme? What happens is we get another chance. We remain in this material world. We reincarnate from one form to another. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. So after many births and deaths, we at last become a little wise, hopefully, and, dedicate ourselves to this process. You can see this, another way to understand after many births and deaths, you can understand it as a day in your life kind of thing. A birth, every morning we wake up, it can be seen as a birth, a new life. We've got, a new day, a new beginning. And then at night, we go to sleep. That's a type of death. Whatever is accomplished during that day, okay, whatever it is, it is. And we go to sleep at night. Next day, a new beginning. So that's another way to understand birth and death. After many births and deaths, and of course it also applies to this life as a whole. So my favourite verses of the Bhagavad Gita, because it basically explains the whole yoga process in a nutshell. And of all yogis, those who always abide in me with great faith, adoring me in transcendental loving service, are most intimately united with me in yoga and are the highest of all. So there's many different kinds of yoga processes. They take us to different stages or different places on the overall spiritual journey. But the culmination comes with this experience of spiritual love. And as we're chanting, of course, we're meditating. We might get a little taste of it here and there. We might get a little experience of this connection with Krishna, and so we go on, and so we're informed by Krishna that this is the highest goal of yoga, and so by focusing on these names of Krishna and gazing on the form of Krishna, gazing on the representation of the spiritual form of Krishna, then this makes it easy for us to focus. So I'm just going to chant a little bit longer now, and I guess everybody knows we're still in the lockdown mode here in Melbourne, so we only got a couple of here with us, but so we're going to chant. I'm going to do another slow one, and then our friends are going to come on and pick up the pace a little bit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Namaste, everybody. Thank you. And Jai Tirthadas is going to come on and pick up the pace a bit, I believe.
Haribo, namaste everybody. Thanks, Jiva Krishna. Beautiful as always. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol,
Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur,
Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur. Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol. Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Hare, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Hare, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Hare, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Moha.
Jaya Hare, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Jaya Hare, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha, Madana Mohana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama. Thank you, everyone. Now we have the pleasure of Ripidas coming up. Multi-talented, everything, doing everything tonight.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Full house tonight. You guys wouldn't know, would you? No, just kidding. There's a very bare bones few of us running this. But thank you for joining. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda
Radha Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Let me hear you out there, nice and loud. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda, 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 Haribo. Chaitanya, 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 Haribo. 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Okay, excuse me, I'm going to change instruments. All right, one final chant. So I have my friend Jayatirtha, who was on just before. Can you start the Lord Chaitanya's third prayer going into, and then a prayer of protection to Lord Nrsingadev. Chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, feeling oneself to be lower than the straw in the street. Devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaya Chilatam Tona Shringa Paratona Shringa Toya Toya Mita Tona Shringa Vaina Shringa Hridayana Shringa Shringa Vidam Saranam Prapadai Tavakara Kamalavarina Kam Abhuta Shrinkam Keshavarita Narayupa Jajagadishare 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 Namaste Nada Shringaya Lada Lada Jayade Niranyakashipu Vakshaya Sila Tantana Kodaye Nitona Shringa Paratona Shringa Yitoya Mita Tona Shringa Vaina Shringa Hridayana Shringa Shringa Madam Saranam Prapadai Tavakar Kamalavarina Kam Abhuta Shrinkam Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubrinkam Keshavarita Narari Rupa Jajagadishare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. Haribo. Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, another Sunday night. And thank you to Jiva Krishnas for chanting and speaking, and Jayatirtha, Haribol, and others who joined online. Haribol. Okay, so we'll see you again very soon.